listening to Bears Beyond the Gate, a Bristol Bears podcast made by fans for fans. We're three friends who love the club, the game and all things Bears. This week is our 200th episode, and to mark the occasion, we have a very special guest with us in person at the Bristol Beer Factory Taproom. He recently made his 50th first team appearance for Bristol, and he scored his first Premiership try against Bath in the semi-final, and he led the Bristolian first half riot at the Rec. His name is James Dunn. Welcome, Dunny, to the pod.
Come on, Dunny! Dunny!
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much for having me. I've got one thing to pull you up on now.
Oh no! What have we done
Already?
And this is from my mother, Susan. Shout out.
Yeah.
And actually, this is Miles's fault. And you've just backed him up.
Yeah.
But that was not my first Premiership try.
What?
Lads.
What? They said it on TNT.
First Premiership try this season.
This season.
I had two last year, lads.
That is bad. Miles, you're the stats man.
Normally I am, aren't they? Dear.
You've got one job.
I know. I can only apologise to Mrs. Dunn. I mean, apologies, Sue.
Well, mate, not just Mrs.
I
Dunn.
think you should apologise to the guy who
Dunny.
sat opposite you, because he's the one
I'll
who
be honest,
scored.
was it my favourite? Yes.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm more afraid of Mrs. Dunn than Dunny here, so that's why I'm apologising to you both.
Just
to clarify then.
set the record straight. Just tell us when those two last season, then, just so everyone, the listeners, can just be happy with that you can remember when they
Testing my
were.
memory. But both at Ashton Gate.
Yeah.
Scored Gloucester at home.
Yes.
And Northampton at home. Both from about 1 metre.
Yeah. So it's quite easy to miss, then, isn't it?
It was very easy to miss, and I think we scored a few points in both games.
Yeah.
So you're right.
It was like lost in the middle of
I can't believe you're defending Miles, Pete.
Now I probably could put a caveat and say like that was his best Premiership try, like that.
It was
definitely
definitely.
it was with style. It was with style.
If we had the ding dong bell now, caveat already within the first 2 minutes.
All right.
Word of the day.
Yes.
Well, okay. I'll tell you what though. Let's focus on whatever it was, that try at the Rec on the whatever it was, 8th of June, 9th of June. You ran in from about 5 yards. It was a
I thought it was 60. Was it
60 yards. It must have felt like 60 yards.
It was about that.
And it kind of marked, to be honest, an unbelievable half of rugby. Probably the best half of rugby that I would imagine most fans have probably seen in their whole career.
Yeah.
It was an unbelievable first half. Obviously, we all know what happened, the result. But it looked to me like you, Genji and Klosk were like there was another level of sort of adrenaline, another level of passion. And we're interested to start with that, really. Is like, what happened that night? What was it like being there? That first half, what was going on?
I mean, it was mint. It was class. It was like, I think the week build up into it, and we knew we had Quins the week before. And we were like, if we get through this, likelihood is, although we almost ended up third, didn't we?
Yeah.
But we were like, I was injured the week before, so I was watching it and I thought, do you know what? We're going to end up with Bath away at the Rec. And I thought that is going to be the perfect game for us in the semi-final.
Yeah.
I thought that's going to be probably, if we're not going to be a home semi, I thought that's going to be our best chance of winning. I'd rather have them than Sale away.
Yeah. We never win there.
Or Leicester away or whatever.
Yeah.
So from Monday when we came in, we had our end of season dinner actually. I think I saw you boys.
You were dressed
in my old tuxedo.
That was immediately after the Quins game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we had a chat in the change room. We were like, lads, we'll have one beer, enjoy the night, and then everyone we're dialed in. We're not, no one's going out. We're not getting on it. Most end of seasons is like a bit of a.
You wind down.
Yeah, have a wind down. You had a good long year. Holiday season,
There was
you're
some
on.
good build-up. I mean, there was some dirty talk from Pat, wasn't there, all week? The boys, proper
Genji.
passion, wasn't there, in Genji? Rightly so. I mean, you and the lads are proper Bristolians, and we loved the build-up to that Bath
I'd
game.
go as far as to say it was filthy talk from Pat in the week.
I mean, I loved it personally. I was like,
So did I.
It was great.
and we to be fair, Pat on Monday said to us, he was like, Bristolian's going to lead this week.
Yeah.
So we got like 4, 5, 6 of us in the squad, not including the academy as well. We're all still passionate about it, even if they might not be getting the game time. Coaches as well. You got like Iro, Beanie.
Yeah.
So it was like a chart. It was a literally charged week. So from Monday, training had an edge on it, even though that's normally just like a little walkthrough for us.
Did you have when you? I was just thinking about training. Like when you've obviously got like I presume a sort of first 15 who are training together, and then you've got like the other guys of the opposition. Do they all have like Finn Russell, like face masks on?
So the way it works, we review the game. So after Gwyn's, we come in on Monday. We'll have sort of a couple of meetings in the morning. Then we'll review the whole game, see what we can do better. Then they name the team on a Monday lunch.
Yeah,
really,
for the Friday night.
Yeah.
So we're like dialed in. But then obviously there's in a squad of 50, including academy, 55, whatever.
Yeah.
There's 23 playing. There's 30 who aren't playing.
Yeah.
And do you know what? All season, I've got to give a shout out to them. Our non-23 has been the best I've ever been a part of. Like, he's my mate. But I'll give a shout out to Sam Woolston. He's I'd say the best, currently third choice 9 in the world. He is like 40 Prem caps for Wasps and all that. He's like absolutely mint. He's brilliant.
And a proper team player.
Proper team player. He's won Team Man of the Year. And he leads them boys and he fires them up so that by the time we get to Tuesday, which is Goose Day, which is our like big day, it's like Tuesday's full on and he is firing them up. So we're getting proper Bath pictures, Bath line out attack, Bath scrum attack, and we're like basically training against when our bodies are still sore from probably the weekend before. They might be a bit fresher and they are flying at us with the pictures we should see on a Friday or Saturday night. So
fair play.
Is there a tendency in the week to go over the top? Because obviously you prepped for the game on, as it was Friday night, and you're all up for it so much. And we could see on that Friday night, we could see you run out and the focus on all the lads' eyes, and it was immense. Is there do you have to, like, when you're in training, do you have to like think in the back of your mind, like, this isn't the game? You know what I mean? This is still training.
Yeah.
Is it difficult?
To be fair, we sort of, in terms of mindset wise for Bath, we were like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we were like, it's going to deal with itself. Friday, we're going to be there. Like, we know what it means to us. So Monday and Tuesday training especially, we were like, let's just make sure we're dialing it down enough. We don't we're not getting injuries today. We're not fighting each other. This isn't the opposition. Like, we'll be all right. But and it gets to sort of Thursday, you have your captain's run. Yeah, the first bit, and Fitz is good at it. Fitz builds a week really nicely as a captain. Yeah. He'll be like, I'm not going to say too much, but we know what this means to us. He'll sort of tell a couple of personal stories, and we'll have some personal stories from throughout the week. So Genji led it really well. Sort of Monday set the tone and was like, I remember going to Farley House, training against Bath 9 years ago or whatever it was, and he was like, we're having a scrum session and then we're scrapping straight after. And he was like, the mindset behind it is like, we're going to go attack them. They're the best squad and the best team in the Premiership, realistically. And I'm not a Bath fan, but you know what I mean. They have the team for it, and they've eventually done it. We knew the challenge we had, but we were like, emotionally, if we can get to a level, we can take them on and we can beat them.
I think that showed on the Friday night. I mean, that first half, we'd already spoken off record. That was probably the best first half that I can remember in a long, long time. And like, things changed in the second. Momentum went against us in the second half, but every single one of you put in 110%, and we couldn't have been prouder.
No,
you walked off that pitch, and we were so proud. Like, we lost the game, but ultimately, what a positive season! And like, I mean, shall I run through these positives actually when we're talking about it now?
Well, go on. Well, I still want to find out about Friday night though. Okay, give them a say, because I still think there's a story. Yeah. So you've done the week, and then I'm interested to know how that whole Friday night went, because as you rightly said, Lee, like particularly you, George, Genji, to me you looked like you were kind of almost like a mini SAS unit, and like you absolutely ripped into them. I mean, they must have been, I don't know, they were really, but particularly it was pretty obvious watching that you three, there was like this little three of you were just ripping into clear outs, like Klosker's like the pop in the hands. I mean, it has been said that Klosker and Genge were like the Carling and Guscott. What I'm interested in knowing is, like, how you kind of you manage to control that, but at the same time use that to your advantage. And then maybe we can, talk about how the rest of the game went and how you kind of cope with it, whatever, and then go to that. But it's just that, like, how did he get to that intensity?
So I think for us, it was like, me and Klosk are like, so George Klosk, we're like, known each other we played together at under 17s, under 18s, like, best mates, love it. Both Bristolian. Genji was like, on Friday, it was pretty much stay away from him. It was like he's bubbling. Yeah. Like, let's just leave him to it. He'll be there. Fit set the tone really nicely, actually. And it was like, we had a meeting before, and obviously barely sleep the night before. Yeah. Like, absolutely buzzing. Like, it was quite nice. Bristol booked us, so we booked a hotel in Bath. So we left at 11 a.m. from Bristol. Yeah. Got to Bath at midday, and then had a hotel room, like, in pairs, so we could have a little nap or whatever throughout the day.
So you with George?
I was with Fitz, actually. Oh, right. Me and Fitz always room together.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the sort of stuff listeners love.
Yeah,
exactly.
See,
top and tail, yeah.
Is that because you're getting in with the captain? Is that why?
Skip. I'd like to think Skip's requests me. But but yeah, so we do that. We're like chilling, and at like 4 o'clock, we then start getting strapped in the hotel and stuff. We have our pre-match meal, and then we always do that walk to the stadium. But before that, Fitz sort of set the tone. He'd spoken about, so like, Mark Irish, forwards coach, is like absolute legend, and sort of personal stories about him and his sort of what he's gone through and how Bath means so much to him in that sort of sense. Like, spoken about, like, my old man, happy Father's Day to everyone, but like spoken about that, and sort of, I'm then like bubbling, like I'm like tears flowing in the hotel. I'm like, we've got to go walk through Bath now, and that walk through Bath is proper, like, you see them buildings, you see the stone. I don't want to say beautiful city, but it's a good looking city.
In terms of architecture,
architecturally great city.
Not much
Fan-wise, not a massive fan, but it's a good looking city.
Yeah.
And we walk through there, and you're getting heckled, you're getting cheered on. Lena, who I'd say he's probably had the best season of his life, and arguably has been player of the season, most consistent player of the season for us. Got injured the week before, and instead of sulking and missing out on the semi-final, organised all of the non-23 to come down, go to the pub, have a pint, and bring flares for our walk-in. And it was like,
what a ledge.
Unbelievable. So that walk-in was like spine tingling. It was meant.
That team spirit, though, I think that's been with us all season. Because I remember ages ago saying about that this team's got a spirit that I thought could see us all the way through. I'll be honest. And, you know, it's remained, hasn't it? And it's gone. And I mean, you are so close knit as a team, and it really does show. You can't fake that stuff.
We didn't. We genuinely going in. Although Bath are like clearly the best squad in the tournament.
Yeah.
We didn't have a doubt in our mind we were going to win that game, and I know well, I'll be honest. We go to sail away, and it's like, lads, obviously no.
We feel the same as supporters.
No fear, no doubt. But like, I'm a Bristol fan as well. You go into that game and you think, just sail away doesn't quite work for us normally. Do you know what I mean?
No, it doesn't work for us either. It's too far.
We were going to Bath away, best team in the league. I've lost 2 games the whole season, won 2 trophies, and we're like, I'm so confident we are going to win this game.
And also, don't forget that one of the games they lost was to you boys at the Recco in the season. So you must have drawn on that as well.
And that was actually against a full team. We played against the Principality, and obviously they didn't quite have a full team in the Challenge Cup the next week or whatever. But we knew earlier in the season we played basically their full team. Yeah. Russell, Spencer, all that. And we were like, we know how to turn these boys over.
Yeah.
That's a great segment into our season review, actually.
I think so, yeah.
Should we go with this? Because my overriding memory of this thing, Dunny, I'll be honest, you know me now. My memory is not great. I mean, I can watch 80 minutes at the gate and come away and think, like, who scored when, what? And I have to do the review more than these 2 boys. But that Bath game, the overriding, I remember the sun was shining. I remember.
It was at night. Oh, you talk about the Principality?
No, I'm talking about
first one.
It started off Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
season review. We're talking
yeah.
season review.
Yeah.
I've just segmented into that.
Mate, you have. Sorry.
He segued
Sorry.
lovely then.
Come on.
Mate, I'll try and edit that out. That was poor from me.
And it was poor.
Sorry.
No, you need to keep that in. And and like you say, aesthetically, it's amazing ground, isn't it? You did say stadium, Dunny. It's that's pushing it too far.
Pushing it, isn't it? Scaffold.
Pushing it too far.
Scaffold.
You should see the change rooms. lads.
Worse,
You
aren't
can see it on telly. Like you're literally
I've
can't
actually-
fit in there.
Yeah.
they? You can see them having a piss on
It's
the
like a
TV.
comprehensive
I was,
school,
I
isn't
was sat on Batley's knee.
it? Come on to that later. Right, yeah.
But that game was obviously it was the second game, the third game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we'd already beat Falcons, so we can skip that. A potential banana skin, but we got over that. And I just remember the sun shining, and we took it to them, didn't we? We really did. And I can remember a lot of the Bath fans, actually, when they scored, Sam Harris scored that try, didn't he? Gab's probably not the best first tackle in the world, but everyone was saying about how great that Sam Harris try was. But Santi Grondona, on his debut,
He got a brace, didn't he?
scored a brace, and Jesus, we took it to him, and I that was probably the start then that I thought that team spirit was already there. You could tell, like, we'd had a full pre-season. Everyone was completely up for it. And, like, to turn them over at the Rec, I mean, there's nothing better, is there? As a Bristolian,
So
you know,
I can probably tell you this, but I'm sure it's allowed. But we have a theme for every year, and I've done all 8 years. I'm not sure I can remember every theme, but we've had like basic accountability has been a theme. It's like everyone takes accountability for themselves. Then it's been like ownership. So look after your own actions. If someone else next to you is not doing the right thing, look after them. And our theme this year was cohesion. So from minute one of pre-season, she'd have pre-season normally is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you go really hard.
Yeah.
Every other team will have Tuesday, Thursday off. Or they'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday. Because we don't play Saturdays, it's a job at the end of the day. We have 5 days a week. That's our mindset. So it's like, we train Monday, Wednesday, Friday really hard. Tuesday, Thursday, we're in the morning. And then the afternoon is cohesion. So it's not always pints, not normally pints, to be honest.
Coffee.
But it's like, but like originally it was like, meet up with someone in your position.
Yeah.
If they're new, you pair up. So I was with Steele Barker, who's come in, played a few games.
best name in rugby.
Best name in rugby. His name's actually Robert. His name's Bob Barker.
No.
You've ruined the illusion for us.
He's gonna.
I thought he said his real name's Titanium or something.
Bob Barker.
He's gonna hate that.
No, we don't need to know that.
Make sure you listen to the pod
if we get a
next
chance
week.
to go on to it, I'm gonna have to tell you a few of his nicknames later.
That's what we want.
It's brilliant.
Steel.
So I was with Steele in pre-season. So Tuesday, Thursday, meet up for coffee or whatever, and just the whole group this year has been so tight knit. It's obviously a small group already. We've been together a decent amount of time, but like all the new boys, I feel like straight away like found their feet. Like you look at like Ravouvou. Well, I'm sure you're going to go on to.
We've got to hold it up there a minute. It's not Ravouvou, it's Ravovo. Do you not know that?
No, Bristolians say it.
Do you know what the truth is?
What?
I've no idea. But
It's Calavetti.
No, he's called Calla.
But no, we'll tell you, there is a. You need to know
We
this.
got
So
pulled on this. This is
pulled
why
up by
Pete.
Slick. You know Slick.
Yeah.
The game announcer.
He got in touch with us and said, because we'd called him Ravouvou. Because
He
on
listens-
TNT,
he
or
listens to the
Ravouvou.
pods. He
So we
listens to
call
the
him
pods,
Ravouvou, because on TNT they call him Ravouvou. He got in touch with us and said, actually, boys, it's not, it's Ravovo, and I've been to ask him specifically how he pronounced his name. So we then said, all right. So we then, we atted in Nick Mullins and said, mate, you've got it wrong. It's Ravovo. And anyway, there was a bit of a week where there was a transition week, and now they all call him Ravovo. And
as soon as I'm talking about squad cohesion, you've told me I've got someone's name wrong. You can't tell me that. But he's called Calla.
Calla,
Just
right.
call him Calla.
Dunny, to be fair, you pulled Miles up early on the pod, so we're just getting you back.
Mate, I'm glad you aren't his mentor because you're calling the wrong name all season, buddy.
I've got a question about cohesion, which is great, and it's kind of flitting forward. But the new Argentinian boy, Pedro Rubiolo.
Rubiolo.
Now, I read a bit of stuff on the forum the Newcastle comms guy came on the Bristol Forum, was saying that he turned up at Newcastle as a young lad, and he's learned and he's basically learnt English. He came as a kind of on his own, and he was massively like bigging him up, saying he's a really nice guy. But to us, like when he turned up on that game, the Quins game, we were like, whoa, we'd forgotten about him.
Yeah,
mate, he's
we weren't expecting him.
I want to know about him.
Mate, he's a freak.
Is he?
He
looks like a
scared.
freak.
Lads,
he looks scary.
He could not be more my position. I'm scared of him, mate.
God,
He's he's basically had a massive foot injury.
Yeah,
all year.
Because he played in the championship, rugby championship, didn't he, against the All Blacks?
You've got to remember, he's 22, 23. He's got 25 caps for Argentina.
Yeah.
And he rocked up, and I was like, right, that's 4 shares mine.
Yeah, exactly.
and he rocked up, and suddenly I'm like, oh my, who is this? And we're in the gym, and obviously gym strength and rugby strength are completely different.
Yeah.
You have people who are like unbelievably gym strong, and then you go on a pitch and you could throw them around.
Yeah. Is that just who would you say is that?
Who's
Gym strong.
Who's Jim Strong? Genji,
not
isn't it?
pitch strong.
Gym strong, not pitch strong.
Are you allowed to say it? Are you allowed to say it? Are you gonna get
I know. I tell you what, I'm going to have to go for a back, otherwise.
Yeah, of course you have.
of course.
Mate, I suspected that.
Who's gym strong, not rugby strong?
Who prances around?
You're going to have to give that back to me.
All right, we'll save that.
I'll find.
I guess
If you got a
Pedro-
quick fire at the end, I'll come back. But Pedro is like George Taylor, another young guy as well, second row. He's had horrible injuries for a few years, but luckily for him, all lower body, so his upper body looks mint.
I thought you were going to say Pedro bench pressed him.
So then those two are in the gym, and you're like, what have you been like crafted from? Like they are so strong, and they take up. We've got like a pull machine sort of thing.
Yeah.
And if those two are on it, there's a queue on the. We got 2 of them. There's a queue on the other one for about 20 people because no one else can lift their weight. It's mental.
Really?
Wow.
So Pedro's like ridiculously strong. In that first game at Quins, he was. I think the plan was for him to come off at 50 minutes because he'd been out for the whole year.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Bill got a dead leg, and we were like, save him for Bath.
Yeah.
Someone else went down, and it was like, right, Pedro's going to have to go 80 minutes. He was in some agony.
I bet he was.
He's got an engine.
Is that why he was on the bench for the Bath game then? Because he went 80 for the Quins, or was he always?
So originally,
he was on the bench.
Originally, to be fair, I was meant to start Quins.
Yeah.
And Pedro was going to get his first bit of Bristol was like 20, 30 minutes off the bench, and then he went so well, and I was. I'll be honest. This isn't too much to say, but I was terrified.
Tempted to kick his foot again.
I was terrified for the Bath game. Yeah. Like I was like, I want to start that game.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it came down in the end. It was like, and I don't know which coach. I think it might have been Iro. Might have done me a favour, and it was like an absolute toss up. He's an international player. He's meant, and he's younger than me.
I mean, from my point of view, it was like, wait a minute, why is Dunny not playing? Because we mentioned on the pod, didn't we? And then when we seen him come in, we were like, oh.
So I think the thing basically on that week, I had a back spasm on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, on Tuesday, actually, I'm going to pick a bit of a gripe with Ben Grondona here, who's a legend. I love him.
Yeah.
But he was helping out his Argentinian mate because he hit me on Tuesday in training. And after that, then Wednesday morning I woke up, I couldn't move. And then Thursday, Pat was like, mate, don't worry about it. Get yourself right for next week, and we'll have. Well, basically, we got an international, mate, backing you up. So
you can't trust those Latinos, mate.
I'm telling you, mate. I'm telling you, Benny Grondona on purpose. He must have targeted me because Pedro's then started, been absolutely mint, and that for the Bath game, I was like, when the Monday they play a video for the squad announcement, it goes through position by position. I was like, oh, please let me be starting. And Klosky came up at 3, and I was like, sat next to him, me and him were like that. We were like tapping each other on the leg, like buzzing. And then I came up at 4, and I genuinely was like, starting to tear up. I was like, that is going to be so mint.
Yeah.
But Pedro, on his performance from the week before, deserved it. To be honest, he was so good, but I was like,
he's a new boy. He's got to learn his position.
He's got to learn his trade, doesn't he?
Don't just come in.
I think the plan was basically me and him were meant to do 40-40 in the Bath game, but
You got 7 minutes on him, didn't you?
I think Iro basically said he was like,
Scored a
it's
try.
a toss up.
Exactly.
Pedro or Dunny, who are we going for?
Yeah.
And Iro went, Dunny's Bristolian, let's start him.
Yeah. And it was a good call.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, absolutely.
And like, obviously, when it got to half time, I was like, I'm tracking all right here. I'm going all right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd love to play on a bit. And to be honest, if it was like anyone else apart from Pedro, I'd have been like fuming to come off at 45 or 47.
Yeah.
I'll take 47. I'd have been fuming to come off, but I was like, Pedro had said to me, he was like, mate, I got you. I was like, sound.
Tell us a little bit.
He said to me on Monday, genuinely.
Yeah,
he looked at me, he was like, mate, tire yourself out, I got you. I was like, lush.
Fair play. And talking about the squad a little bit. No, you talk about cohesion. We've got these great international squad now. We've got like four Argentinians, haven't we? Couple of Fijians. Do you all click, or is language a difficult thing? Do you all go out on nights out, and it's pretty much like we're all one big squad and all mates, pretty much.
I mean, in terms of rugby wise.
You're all on the same page.
Rugby-wise,
win,
on the same page. They understand everything.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. There's the Argentinians. There's 4 of them. So there's
must cook a good steak, right?
Benny.
Surely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Benny Grondona, the youngest Grondona brother. His English is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really, really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Santi's English is great, but he speaks with his mouth closed. So tough to tell.
Yeah, yeah.
Pedro's come in. Pedro's like a big old quiet guy.
He hasn't got a Newcastle accent.
No, he's not quite Geordie, but he's less. Well, he's a bit quieter than the others.
Yeah.
Benny Elizade, when he first came over, was had the worst English. Could not really speak English.
He's a young lad.
But you know what? Now he's like, they're really good. They are all really good. Calla, I think, is Siva firstly is fully Siva's been here for years. He's fully can speak fully English, and then suddenly you'll be sat next to him in the changing room and he'll start speaking Fijian to Calla, and you're like, they are definitely talking about me. Calla is mate. Calla's mint. I think he decides when he wants to speak English.
Yeah,
I think he knows English, but he decides when. But there's been times this year where we might not have thrown the extra pass. And Calla to Gabs, and no, I think Calla's probably claimed that he didn't quite understand what Gabs was saying, but I'm not sure that's true.
He's and also Big Bill Matter, as we can't talk about Bill Matter without putting the word big.
I cannot tell you how much of a legend he is.
I mean, mate, I've never his little rat-a-tat-tats at the back as well.
We obviously had Maggie last year.
Yeah.
And Maggie is one of the greatest players we've ever met in rugby. But they were on a team together in Edinburgh.
Yeah, of course.
Bill is an absolute legend. He's 34, bit of a calm sort of dad of the squad. On Tuesday, if you train against him, he'll walk into you, he's like putty. He doesn't hit you at all. If you want to make a line break, you run at Bill and he'll just let you through. He doesn't give a shit. And then you get to the weekend and he's like the chiropractor, isn't he? He's like David Lemmy back then.
I know.
No, it was Lima. Wasn't it Brian Lima?
Brian Lima.
He was the chiropractor, yeah.
That's what
you're right. I thought Matter he had Quins as well, and I thought at the Bath game he was
Can I be honest though, when we signed him, I was a little bit dubious because I thought the age and I thought the injuries. Yeah.
And you call him Maggie Bradbury, was a great player, wasn't he?
He was.
We were disappointed he left.
I thought Bill grew into this year massively, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
When he started off, I think obviously in pre-season he got an injury, he got a hammy injury against Hartbury or something. I think also when you're joining a new squad, the last thing you want to do is get injured straight away because you want to prove to boys how much you're worth to, especially because he would have known Maggie and knew what he added to our squad as well. So
I mean, we were used to the game we play is fast, isn't it? Really fast, and we were like, geez, who's this beast Pat's brought in? You know, is he going to be able to keep up the game? But you're right, he's grown into the season brilliantly,
In all fairness,
and he's
Bill,
been in the right place at the right time, and he's been a legend.
He was Fiji sevens though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So he's like the man
So
is.
that speed.
You can see it at the Principality.
I'm pretty sure that he hadn't played that Quins game when you ran riot at the Stoop before Christmas, where it's Joe Marler's last game. And you ran him riot, and he basically retired. I want to talk to you. I was going to ask about that game.
I know,
but
we need to talk about that.
I'm pretty sure that Mata hadn't played because he was on that injury, and we were saying he must have watched that game and thought, "Oh my God, what have I let myself in for?" Because I like the ball in play, and I've got to run everywhere all the time. We were speculating on the fact that he might go back to Edinburgh.
Well, it was like when Joycey, used to end up on the wing. You remember those days? And like he was
Joycey weirdly is good on a wing, isn't he?
No, apart from
Sarries.
Sarries. But anyway, let's not.
Jack Batesy is best
Positive
ever
pod.
tried, denied.
Positive pod.
But
Anyway.
on that note, because you had a few, we're kind of ambling around a season review, but you, Lee, had some positives, and we've been very positive so far. But I want you to crack on with a few more.
So, like, look at my writing, Dunny. It's not
That's good writing.
It's pretty good, isn't it, for a Wavy Wood kid?
Have you got all the results there?
Yeah.
Yes. It's all there. See, we do a little bit of homework.
I got loads.
Right, listen, positives. The season in numbers, positives. This one's a bit of a... I don't know about this one. Club record attendance, 51,095. I know, strictly speaking...
You could have been 96, mate.
I could have been, but I wasn't ever going to go to Cardiff because I didn't believe in it. Because we got shafted by the club. Yeah, let's bring it out. We got shafted by the club. It wasn't mentioned when people bought their season tickets. So I mean, everyone on the pod, all the listeners know.
We know that.
Anyway, that's a kind of semi-positive. Now's the real positives.
Go.
95 tries scored, right? Club record. These are club records. 16 bonus point tries, right? Try points. Yeah. New league record. 4 try bonus points in every away game, which is pretty amazing, isn't it? We go away and it's like, Jesus, we're like... Yeah. We've been in the top 4 for all 18 rounds. 18 rounds, top 4. Now let's go to the individual positives. What? Gabs, 13 Premiership tries, new club record. Jack Bates, we love the guy, we love his old man as well. Youngest player in a club history to score a Premiership hat-trick. I won't say how old he was, but he's knocking on a little bit now. Stephen Luatua and Rans became club centurions this season. And AJ, in total, has scored over 1,000 over 1,000 Premiership points. Now that is a pretty damn positive season.
I'm going to have to call you out again.
Go. Oh, hang on.
Me now.
Go on. What was your centurion stat?
Stevie and Harry.
Not having it, lads. Sadly.
Are we not?
That was last year.
Was it?
Only centurion this year, Max Leaf.
Yeah. No. Dunny.
Am I wrong?
Dunny. Let's have this out. Let's have this out. Max Leaf, 100, a centurion, but that is 4 appearances, not just for Bristol.
No, Max Leaf, Clermont away, made his 100th cap for Bristol Bears.
Did he?
This year.
I think you're right.
I was there for his speech.
So we got 3 centurions.
But no, Stevie and Rand's last year. Do you know what? In our team meeting room, and I'm sorry to call out on it.
No,
Lee,
call me out all day long.
No, you know I love you. You're the only one who didn't get my tries wrong, so I appreciate
that. We're the 2 City fans on the table as well.
Put him right.
Yeah, come on.
What I would say is we have on the board.
Yeah.
So we have on our meeting room, the back of the room, we have photos of all the centurions. Stevie, well, I'm going to question you a little bit. I reckon Stevie was about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think
Stevie's on about 140 now.
I would have thought he's 150. I would have thought this season.
Maybe I couldn't understand my own writing. Let me just refer back to this.
Might be starts. Prem game.
It might be
Prem game. It could be Prem game.
It could be.
I think we need to stop
game
here
starts
and say that someone else is listening.
Donny's pulled me up.
Should we get the club statistician?
Sort it out. So me, with you. I think
Can we get Stato will join?
I mean, Stevie looks about 80, doesn't he? So it feels like he's been here, but he's been here for years.
I think Stevie is on. My guess would be, I reckon Stevie's on about 140.
Yeah,
right,
and I reckon there might be 100 Prem starts.
Yeah,
because he did the whole champ season, which is about 20 or whatever.
You do.
But that wasn't Premiership.
No, but I reckon Stevie's done 100 Prem starts, would be my guess. But Max Leaf, the only Centurion this year.
let's leave it there.
I was trying to be positive, Donny. I was trying to be positive.
Let's talk about positive.
One more
The rest of the
positive.
stats are lost.
One more positive. You didn't it?
Is that your positive?
Most bonus points in the league this year.
Yeah.
18, and it's the highest in the league. You know, we plus 55 points difference. I mean, let's forget Bath were 234, but that's pretty flipping good, isn't it?
Do you know what? I would add to that as well. It's like, obviously we've done that this year. If you look at every Prem year before, there's been more teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've had how many teams in the Prem? Is it 10 teams?
Yeah,
we've had. I should know that.
I hope so.
No, we don't want you to know that stuff. We want you to focus on
We've got 18 games.
Yeah.
And
we've broken all records in less games.
24, 26 games.
Yeah.
So
like 10 wins, you're right. 18. Yeah.
So-
10 teams. 10
So I-
wins.
So I have a question about that. Was that a strategy to go out and get bonus points? Or is it just something that's kind of just happened this season? Because there was some chat in the meet. I saw someone saying that, that might have been the Bears' strategy, the way they play, is to try and, understanding that there's going to be some ups and downs in the season, but try and get bonus points when you can.
In all fairness, there's been no specific comms about trying to get bonus points. But then you look at when we went to Sail Away.
Yeah.
What was it, 4 games ago?
Yeah,
recently.
like 41,
And that was
26 or something like that.
Yeah, and at half time, I think we'd scored 2 tries.
Yeah.
Or we'd scored, just Rans had scored.
Yeah.
And we were like, with 10 minutes left, we needed another try to get a bonus point, or 2 tries to get a bonus point. And in that sort of game, you're probably not going to win at that stage.
Yeah.
Rafi Quirk just scored, actually.
Yeah, he did.
And we'd gone second half, I think me, Genji, Lahif, a few boys had come on. Harry Byrne came on.
Yeah.
It was really good for us to be there. And a few boys had come on and we were like, lads, we might not win this game.
Yeah.
We need to explain.
You got to explain what's going on. 150th.
So what?
Not 100.
Lee, can
still
you read
Centurions.
that out? Lee, read it out. Sorry.
You got to read that out.
And this is from Neil Williams,
this is not
official
official.
stato.
Neil Williams stays, and I do apologise, Donny, because Donny's actually right. So
Good.
But for me, I just love the stats. Miles is the stat man, Matt. Stephen Luatua and Harry Randall have now both played 100 plus Premiership games for the club. Only 5 players have achieved this, and Randall is the youngest to reach the landmark. Stephen Luatua also played his 150th, that's a centurion and a half, I reckon, in our
Money.
at Northampton Saints. Just the 15th player to reach that milestone. So, Donny, a couple of years' time, you're going to be up there, mate.
Do you know who's going to get the youngest? Fitz next year will get the youngest.
Yeah.
He's on 90, I think he's 97.
He's up there, isn't he?
I've got a stat for you. I don't know the exact stat, but I think you'll enjoy this.
A stat's got to be a stat, Donny.
I mean,
It's got to be a stat.
It's a loose. It's a loose stat. He's either first or second.
we'll get your mum to check it for us.
Jake Woolmore,
Yeah.
170 odd appearances for Bristol. Never scored a professional try in his life.
Yeah.
What?
He's played at Jersey Reds. He's played at Bristol. He's never scored a try in his life. Got a metre out against Quinns. Yeah. Didn't score it. But I think he might be... I can't confirm this. But he's first or second for most Premiership games ever without scoring a try. Yeah. So when he scores, lads...
That's big.
I need something.
We love Wooley because he was right when he first joined us. We used to buy him half a Coke in the clubhouse in the sports bar.
The Queens didn't we? Just at half, mind.
just a half. And he's Wooley's one of our favourites. I have to admit, and what he's been through as well. And he's got a lot of life experience.
He is ultimate team man.
Yeah.
He's like I don't know. This is probably a bit far, but like obviously behind Genji, he knows what his role is.
Yeah.
And it's like Yanni's been the same. Yanni's like obviously probably gone to Yanni, he's retired and everything, but he's like Yanni's a legend. But Wooley has been so good for this club, and he really is. 100. It might be 170 appearances in now.
Yeah.
And I can't confirm how many of them he has been like for sure the starter.
Yeah.
But he's just such a good teammate. Mate, he's around the club. He's absolutely brilliant. He's so good with the academy. He drives them on. He's had a partnership with Kofi this year. Kofi probably, I reckon, will have a big year next year.
Yeah.
And Kofi is like, Wooley's Wooley's tough on me, isn't he? I'm like, mate, Wooley does that, picks one a year.
Yeah.
And he's meant Wooley.
But he only picks on him because he's worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you tried the gym, by the way? It's not bad, is it? Is he still doing that?
No, it's gone. Him and Bedlow.
Yeah.
Sammy Bedlow. XV Gin for a while.
Yeah.
It's gone.
But now
We drunk it all.
I don't know if that was a success. I think they might still have about 100 bottles in circulation if you need it. But
have you been in their sauna and ice bath
He's
yet?
gone away from gin. He's gone to Sevo
Wellbeing.
Wellness.
Yeah, well-being.
Well, we need to get back on track a little.
Yeah, well,
no, mate. It's not your fault at all. I was just thinking because this is a very vague season review. So we had a flying start. We had a nightmare. Let's not talk about the sale game at Christmas, and then we kind of had that really weird thing this season where we get into the Champions Cup by basically just being in the English Premiership. And then I've got to say, we get like the hardest draw.
The draw of death,
Leinster,
don't we?
La Rochelle, Clermont. Now, I mean, me and Miles went to the Leinster game. The weirdest thing, like, why would they put that at 5:30 on a Sunday? Did you play that game? I can't remember. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And that game was a fucking
it was
shambles.
weird. But you boys, like, you did a
but
great
to
job.
60 minutes.
Yeah, 60 minutes.
I came off at 60, lads.
Yeah.
I can't
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
There you go.
No, I got knocked out by Geordie Barrett. A great moment for me.
But I was going to say, is that
Famous.
Like, but my
good
point I was going to ask you a question about this is that that's almost like playing an international team stacked with these massive players. Like, what do you feel like when you're up against like Geordie Barrett and all that sort of stuff? And
do you know what that was like? That was one of those ones that like emotion takes care of itself. It was like you have certain games through the year where you have to like actively get yourself up, but like that was one of them. It was like every one of their players and the bench that they brought on was ridiculous. Wasn't it?
Yeah, of course.
but
that was one of those games where it's like you. It's not in a selfish way, but you make a name for yourself. You go well in that game. And I think 7-7 at half time.
It was.
Yeah.
I think it was 7.
I'm going to be honest, right? Sorry to butt in.
Yeah, go for it.
But the biggest compliment I could play to you boys was that Leinster got really fucking dirty.
Yeah.
And they had to do
trips in
that.
that
I
game.
know. And it was because we were playing so well that they actually they couldn't cope with us.
You got to remember in that game as well. 15 minutes in, Adge went down.
Yeah.
BV played.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course.
So like in that game, I just remember the first we were like they're gonna come out hard. It's the first Champions Cup game. We're like they want to win the Champions Cup. They bottled it for a couple of years, really.
Yeah.
When they've had arguably the best squad, them and Toulouse. So it was like they're going to come out hard. They want to make a statement. And I think from the first kickoff, I think we went probably 15 phases, and they like battered us a little bit, but nothing major. And we probably went from like our own 10 to their 10.
Yeah.
And then Adge got the ball in the pocket, stuck it in the corner, and they had a line out in the 22. And I was like, right, they're human.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And for me, who's not played a load of, you obviously every week in the Premier, you play one or two international players. But that was like my first taste of arguably international rugby, where it's like every one of those players has played for Ireland at some stage.
Yeah.
So like we went 3 or 4, 15 phases or something. Ad stuck it in the corner. They had a line out, and then I was like, they weren't expecting that.
No.
We run everything. They weren't expecting that. So from then, I think we built a bit of confidence. Then Ad went down. We were like, oh God, what are we doing now? And then BV stepped up, and BV, obviously you guys know BV. He's like, BV could play 7 and be man of the match. He could play 15 and be man of the match. He'd be 12 man of the match. And at that game, he was probably 10 and man of the match. He's like, unbelievably many.
He is just immense, isn't he? And
He's a machine, isn't he?
He's a freak.
He is.
I played him. So when I was at Jersey, we played London Irish pre-season.
Yeah.
And we drew 21-all with them. And we missed a kick to win the game the last play. And I remember playing BV and I was like, oh, nothing special. It is what it is. No, he's fine. He hadn't grown the mullet then.
Oh, right.
He's like Samson.
Yeah.
He grew the mullet and suddenly he's like holding pillars. I don't know what he's doing, but he's a freak.
Do you reckon he looks a little bit like Ringo Starr?
You're not tempted by the mullet,
Lee,
then?
sadly, you're about 50 years before me, but
I know. Sorry, buddy.
He's a young'un.
But do you think he's the only man in the squad who can carry a mullet because he's just hard as nails? Surely, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like he's. Well, you see the fans who wear the mullets,
Yeah.
and it's like anyone else does that. I'm not sure anyone else pulling off a mullet.
He
Like
is.
he is.
The
right.
other
I
thing
think
is,
you're
I
right.
know for a fact that he shops at Asda Bedminster as well.
Yeah, he does.
Because we see
So he's human. He's human.
That is like saying something.
That's the one with the Mackies in it.
Yeah.
And a Greggs and a Dunkin' Donuts.
I've never been in that shop. I've been in the Mackies.
I mean, as the Bedminster is like scrumming down, Danny. It fucking really is.
Yeah, but he learned his trades in the aisles of Asda Bemi, didn't he? Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry,
you go.
Just one quick thing on Bernard. Another absolute human being, and this is like we've got a squad full of human beings here, and you know it's great for us. You know, watching these boys play, and like we got your backs, we really have. Sorry, Pete.
I was just going to say on the back of no, it's good, but because it's something you said to me when we saw you at the stadium early in the season, but the old the European campaign in a way was like it was dead in the ground, and we felt as fans like we want to do well, but we could see that it was a real tough. I felt for you that you've got like you're trying to do the Prem, and then you've just got these ridiculous away to La Rochelle, home to Leinster, and then you're away to Clermont, and it was disappointing, to be honest, that like we went out of Europe twice in one night because you know on that Clermont game we kind of because we lost in the 85th minute, then we went out the Challenge Cup, which ironically Bath then got into it and then won it, and that happened last season. But I think the thing is fans understood that it was kind of a bit of a weird thing. But that Clermont game, me and Miles were watching it in the Masonic, which was just on North Street, because they were on Premier Sports, which again is just like ruined fans because you've got to like try and get a subscription.
Another platform.
But that game, we were watching it the second, and you boys came back into it, and it looked like a cauldron. And I remember seeing you at the gate afterwards, and you just said that was like one of the unbelievable atmospheres that you've ever experienced. And I just wanted to find out like
your
what you thought about
experience.
My favourite games from this year were Bath away at the Rec. Second is Clermont. It was so good. Like the thing is about French rugby is like you go over there and you're like a footballer.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Bordeaux last year. We lost 34-20, but we sent young lads out there.
Yeah.
We had like a real good crack at it.
Yeah.
And you go in after, they give you a bottle of wine, they give you a pizza.
Brilliant.
And the whole thing is like, there's maybe 30,000 in the stadium, 10,000 stay, and they've got a DJ, they've got dim lights, it's like a club in there.
Brilliant, isn't it?
And you go, it's so good. And everyone in there, like French or whatever, you could be 17 or 34 and played for England 100 times, and they're like, everyone wants a photo of you. It's like,
Brilliant.
just a ridiculous, that was it. But Clermont was like,
I mean, that's what we're waiting for. You know, it's tricky for some away fans, isn't it, the travel, etc. But we're just waiting for a French game that we can get to easily, and we will literally be there within a shot.
the thing is with Clermont is like,
so passionate.
City-wise, Clermont's not a great city to visit as a fan. But that game was, they've got like, it's an old sort of Colosseum sort of feel to it. Yeah. And they're all banging on all the boards all around the whole place. And genuinely, it was like, that game went to 90 minutes.
It did. Took it
what happened was you would draw. It was 26-all.
Yeah,
and we were shouting at the telly, like thinking that you might hear us saying, "Just kick the thing out because you need a point that got you through."
One point.
But it was all. But then Bath hadn't finished. I know Bath were playing afterwards.
They were playing
and you were like assuming they might. So we were thinking on the law of averages, we'd worked it out, kick it out.
But these boys didn't
But
know
you boys didn't know what
was
they're going on. And then you started playing it, and then you go.
Started running it.
We turned the ball over in the 84th minute.
Yeah, and they scored.
And Benny Alizade had just come off the bench in probably the 78th minute.
Yeah.
And he was the only one who had any energy on the pitch.
Yeah.
And he went on like a
He tried to
15, 20,
Yeah, that's
20
right.
metre run.
Yeah.
And we all looked at him.
No one else was with him.
I think I was looking at like Kloss next to me. I was like, mate, you're ruck. Fuck that. I'm not happening. So
That was it. That was when we were hammering the ridiculous different kickoff times, wasn't it?
But we were like, I think, did Bath get a point in that game?
They did.
Yeah,
I think they did.
And I think we were like, if they get a losing bonus point,
they did. Then they.
but we were also like, "Channel, we've won the challenge, girl."
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? You know,
We've already done that.
We've won the challenge.
We've done it, we've been there.
I honestly think for our season, I think obviously being in the Champions Cup would have been unbelievable, great experience. But I think for our season to do as well as we did in the Prem, because we had an injury crisis after that.
You did.
I think actually in hindsight, I think the best thing for us was not being in it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Bath's bigger squad, you know, it suited them well, didn't it? They went after Poe and beat them, didn't they?
They played a very average Leon side in the final.
Yeah, they did, didn't it? That was weird, wasn't it? It wasn't like the.
It's like when we won it.
It wasn't even like a final, was it?
We played not quite prime, but like almost prime Toulon in the final, didn't we?
Yeah, and the attendance was really low, wasn't it? As well.
On that day, on that night, we took Miles home in a pram.
Toulon night.
Yeah,
No,
we watched it around Tony's house.
That's the proudest moment, apart from my children and marriage.
He got mullered, and
I got mullered.
Well, Miles
found
was
a-
there until about
we found
70
a
minutes.
I was back.
pram that was outside Tony's house. It was like a discarded
It was,
pram.
it was
like it was
waiting
meant
for
to
us.
be.
in the pram.
I said, boys, I can't walk. My legs have given up.
I had a great night that night.
Yeah.
It was lovely. So I played Zebra in the group stage of that.
Yeah.
And I came on the 68th minute, and I hadn't played any first team rugby at all really at that stage. And the first play, their 10 dummied to this big
Unit.
Islander guy 5 metres out from my line, and I went up and hit him blooming eye.
Yeah.
It turns out he never got past the ball, so I got yellow carded in that. Came back on for 2 minutes at the end, but we'd already beaten Zebra. So after that, I'd lost a bit of trust with the boss. I think a touch of it. So I
We
didn't
really appreciate the honesty, mate.
So I didn't play it. But this is 2020.
2020, yeah.
So I didn't play again. But then COVID had it was coming out of it. So we were in groups of sixes, and I was in alter egos on White Ladies.
Know it well. My mate used to run that. Yeah.
Watching the final, sadly now closed down. But they did a great karaoke on Thursday. And I was in there with 6 of the boys. All of us hadn't got taken to France, and we were absolutely battered. It was brilliant. But I did get a medal for it for that technically 12 minutes, but 2 minutes I was on the pitch and got a yellow card. I got a medal.
We were battered, but we went live on Jeff Twentyman's show as well, drunk as well. It's absolute quality. Listen, his ratings shot up. Right, boys, I'm looking at the time. We've done 50 minutes of our rambling season review. But
Are we going to condense this then?
Well,
Teach?
I know. I think we all know what happened this season. I think we've got a nice sense of the season. We don't need to talk anything. We could do some quick fires. Are we
going straight to quick fire?
Let's just go straight to quick fires. I mean, it may relate to some of the games. So can I go
Some
for a
might be
quick fire?
go for it. Some might be unrelated.
Yeah. I want to talk about that Harlequins game that when you battered them
No,
before
not that
Christmas.
one.
No, not that
one.
one.
No, the one that you brought, Joe Marler's last game.
Yeah.
And when we were, that's when I bought a Premiership final ticket, by the way. After
Remember, he was like,
Joey Owens.
Was that 48-24?
Joey Owens, welcome to the Premiership.
Yes.
Because he was on the wing, wasn't he?
He was.
My question is kind of unrelated to that, but it's like Joe Marler, Danny Kerr, Max Laheath, to be fair. They've all these boys have got this kind of this podcasting media profile. Mm-hmm. How does that sit with like warriors like yourself? Like, are they when you see them? Do they talk to you? Are they a bit aloof, or are they just normal guys?
I respect the podcast then. Rugby's obviously it's a finite career, isn't it? It's I'm lucky. I'm 25, turning 26 now, but you're 34 at the end. Sorry, it's quick fire, isn't it? But you're 34 at the end of your career, realistically. So when you get to 30, you've got to be transitioning to an extent. Yeah. So you look at Dan Cole, Ben Youngs. Yeah. Their podcast, I listen to it. I think it's really good.
We do.
I'm looking forward to this week's one, to be fair.
Oh, God.
the crying edition.
Yeah.
No comment. I'm gutted about that, but no comment. And then, I don't know, it obviously is a motivating factor. Like when Joe Marler was retiring, we were like, let's spoil the party.
Smash him, yeah.
It's like it obviously is a thing.
Of course.
But I remember first half, and I think I'd been out, so with my shoulder and something, I'd had like 2 months off, and I hadn't done enough fitness to be ready to play.
Yeah.
And I ended up starting. Me and Joe Owen, like I said, he was mint that game. He was so good. But I was like dust at the end of the first half, and I thought I'm going to hit Joe Marler.
Yeah.
So I went out. I was like, I'm gonna smack him. Hit him as hard as I could. Was so knackered, my legs gave out. So I've dropped down to his ankles. He's still standing on top of me, fully upright, but he's tipped the ball, and I didn't realise. And I'm like lying on the floor. I'm like, oh, you're right, mate. He's like, what are you trying to do hitting me late? I'm like, oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, it's the last game.
He was so chatty in that last game, wasn't he?
So chatty.
Oh.
But like, I think he came off early enough. I think they knew at about half time we were dominant. We were good that game.
We were
good that game.
We were brilliant.
So good.
Gabs is always so good against Quinn.
And the one when he did the old Pontaponi when he went and
He did. He sat on the start and clapped himself.
In my head, I saw him running in that try, and I was like, I'd heard a little bit in the week. I was like, he's going to do the Contemplate. I'm going to go chase him. I'm going to run back. I've realised I was 95 metres away. I thought,
So I've got a supplementary quickfire, and it just made me think when you said it. You know, you've got a whole rugby career, but when you retire, have you got any idea what you might do after rugby? Coaching? Whatever,
do you know what? I do have a couple.
Yeah, go on then. See,
He'll start his own podcast, but that's out of business.
It's very premature to be releasing this, but me and Fitz are thinking about opening a gym.
Yep. Why not?
He's a smart man.
Yeah. Well, he's Durham University, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you know his real name?
Fitzwilliam.
Is it Fitzroy?
His name's George.
George Harding.
Are we allowed to put that out?
Yeah,
Just
It's out now.
100% you can put that out.
George Harding.
His name's George Harding.
Fitz thing.
Middle name Fitz.
Yeah.
But he goes by Fitz. It's like Steele, Bob Barker. Yeah. His name's so I call him George.
Yeah.
But he's Fitz.
Yeah.
That's how we'll know him from now on.
He's like he got a first at Durham in history.
He's a smart lad.
And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to latch on to
Latch
that.
him, mate.
I'll have a bit of that. That's fine.
That's kind of what I do with these two.
So I'd love to do something like this.
Yeah.
It's just about the thing is with rugby podcasts is like Danny Kerr, Joe Marler, Dan Cole, Ben Youngs.
Yeah.
You've got to have the profile for it.
Yeah.
Like if you're a rugby player and you play 200 games in the Prem, but you don't play international rugby, you're getting a job after.
Yeah.
As soon as you play international rugby, you've got avenues that open up, which is like just different. So like obviously, my target as a rugby player is to be an international player.
Can you not latch on to Max Laheath? Because
he's such a legend. He's a legend. But
He's a
do you know what the
wordsmith.
sad thing is? If I was 30, I'd latch onto him. But like, there's a chance I don't know when he's retiring. He's got no plans to right now. But like, he's 34 right now.
Yeah.
He's got a good podcast. But let's say he retires in the next couple of years at 36. I'm going to be 28 and arguably my prime. So I'm like, I've probably got 7 years to latch onto him. So like,
time is not going to work, is it?
we need to bring someone in, or someone needs to develop themselves. I tell you what, Jack Bates could do a gaming channel. Mate,
Really?
he's mint. He's so good. Mate, that bloke, honestly, he is a legend. Like one of my best mates in the world, but he goes home and he'll game for 6 hours. He's best, like one of the best in the world I've ever seen. Generally, he's so good.
Wasn't Luke Cowan-Dickie number 1 on Call of Duty?
He was number 27 in the world for search and destroy on Call of Duty.
And then he basically
in the world.
I read an
In the
interview.
world.
I mean, this is not Bristol related, but I read. Then he basically had to give it up because it was taking over his life. And he was like, and now he's on the Lions tour.
I cannot explain to you how good Batesy is, but he wouldn't be far off that.
Right, boys, quick fire.
So you say that you've got to have this like profile, and that leads me to really they've got the profile of England. When are you going to be in the England squad, buddy? Because you're an absolute legend in the club, and we cannot believe.
How can you ask him? But you're pointing a finger at him.
We cannot believe that we're not more Bristolians in the England squad. Is there any more you do, or Pat has said to you that Dunny that you could do to get on Borthy's radar?
I think
Genuine question.
To be honest, I haven't heard anything from England. So like, for me, it's like, what can I work on in my own game?
Yeah, fair play.
Defensively, I feel like I'm in a really good place. I feel like I hit well. My rucking, I'd argue, is like my point of difference would be my rucking, which isn't glamorous, is it? But like, you see, I don't know, like people on Twitter, I've had a post about my rucking, which is like, meant I never thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But like, for me, attacking wise, meters per carry, things like that, it's like, that, I think that's the big thing. You look at like the players who are fighting for England, you look at like, Chesham's obviously a line-out caller. Don't currently call the line-out, but it's something I want to learn. But like people who they might consider for second row would be like Ted Hill, Cunningham South. Like they make positive carries, and I need to do more of that. So like that would be my
your
target.
chicken wing in the first half out the back.
The
very first Newcastle game.
That'll get you.
I reckon
That'll get you in.
I've thrown one offload all season. That was in the Newcastle game.
It was.
That was it.
I wrote
And
it
then,
down.
and then I in the Bath game, I chucked 4. Every single one of them went to Kloss.
Yeah, we could tell.
Glory.
I was like, the link. That's the key.
Mate,
That's the
that's what
cohesion,
you
mate.
gotta do.
The best thing I'd say about Bristol is like, we'll go into Monday review. Let's say let's use Leicester this year. You haven't mentioned it. Where we went blooming well.
Yeah.
Smashed them.
You see, Lena scores a 95-metre try. And
he juggled it, didn't he? And then
Pat in the review will go back and go, mate, look at that bloke hit the ruck like that.
yeah.
And it'll be like, that's what's caused that.
Yeah.
It's not 3 offloads out the back. It's like every single good try we score is off the back of some sort of good ruck or a 1 metre carry when you shouldn't have made 1 metre.
So my question to you is: are you happy with that? Is that what? Because you know full well, and people know that is a massively important job. But you know, you and I keep doing that all the time, and you will get that recognition for what you do. And then if you add a little bit of quick hands as well with you and Kloska,
The thing is, that's my job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm paid to entertain Bristolians.
Yeah.
And I'm not. If I'm the one who you're backing on entertaining them, we're struggling. Gab Zibatoy is the one who's going to entertain you boys. How does Gab Zibatoy score his tries?
Yeah.
It's
Because
like,
you do what you do.
Because every time Gab scores, like, I'm not taking anything away from Gab. Some of the tries he scores are actually just on his own.
Yeah.
But like 14 boys have either put their body on the line or thrown a pass when they could have carried, and it's like that's kind of how I feel about rugby in general. Is like the person who scores gets the credit, and you look at Northampton, and we after they beat Leinster, we reviewed it, and we looked at so Henry Pollock was obviously absolute revelation. He's good for the game. I believe he's really good for the game. But everyone looks at him and goes, he scores a try, and everyone goes, wow, oh my god, he's amazing. Mm-hmm. But I look at
it's been
a competitor of mine, but Alex Coles goes and blasts a ruck.
Yeah,
Leinster put one more player in. Suddenly Henry Pollock hits a line, and then they score.
Yeah,
and it's
available. Yeah,
that's just if you're a casual rugby fan, you look at that and go, oh, he scored a mint try. He must be the boy.
Yeah,
but actually, you look at everything else and you go, it is the ultimate team game.
That is such an important point that you made. Coles, I agree with you. Coles, one of the best players at Northampton.
And he is also a bit of he'd be on my target list.
Yeah.
He's same age as me. I'm actually mates with him, to be fair. But he'd be the same age as me, and it's like England obviously spotted that and seen he's been mint, and he's played 100 games for Northampton now. So he's done 4 or 5 seasons really well.
Definitely. Should we check that stat? That he's a centurion.
I think he is. We're going to have to check it, but
no,
should check Lee's book.
Right. No, I think that's good. Right. Have we got any more quick fires?
Yeah. Well, not quick.
I'll try and answer quickly as well.
Right, well, it might not be quick. Okay, so we chatted a little bit about the squad depth or the number of the squad next year. You know, we're not going to beat around the bush as fans. We have got a very small squad, haven't we? 31 senior plus the academy. We've done brilliantly this season. We've hit 4th. We lost to the best team ultimately that won the league. how do you motivate yourself? Do you feel as a squad like next year with a tighter budget and for reasons outside of this, we get that you can actually hit the Prem and the European Cup and win one? I mean, how do you get the motivation that we didn't quite do it this year, but that's ultimately what fans want? How are we going to do it next year with a small squad?
I mean, I'm probably not on my own when I say I watched the Prem final.
Yeah.
And at the end result, I thought we should have been there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily, I'm not saying we should have won the Prem or whatever, but like, I felt like we had a good enough season to win it. And I thought we put ourselves in a position in the semi-final where we probably, if we convert a couple more chances in the first half, we win that game.
Could have won that game.
And if we're in the final, it's 50-50. It's
of course
game,
it is.
isn't it? Like, Leicester should never have ran Bath that close, realistically.
No.
But they did. I think a small squad is like, you need a touch of luck. Like this year, we ended up. There was a point this year where I was the only second row fit. We brought in Jamie Hodgson.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was mint. He was a legend as well. Absolutely. I know I'm saying everyone's a legend, but he was so good. And then we had Harry Byrne came in because we had AJ, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Wers played a few games.
Yeah.
I think what we've done really well at Bristol over the last few years is like, although we may not have the biggest budget, it's like we're growing players who can perform to a system. And like in the previous question, I'm saying my job is to hit rucks. It's like, as well as I can hit a ruck, you can get an 18-year-old first year in the academy to come and hit a ruck.
Yeah.
So like we're building a system where if everyone just does, we always talk about like when you're struggling, just do your job. Like if everyone's a 7 out of 10, we'll win every game in the league. Like, and there's been games where we've dropped down, but now 31-man squad, it's more important that we've just got to hit a 7 out of 10. I don't need to be throwing offloads and scoring tries from 50 yards out. I need to hit the right ruck at the right time and let someone else do their job. And I think we're in a good position. I'm not worried about the squad size, to be honest.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
That was very clear. Love it. Let's get a bit more serious.
Yeah.
Nicknames. You said you were going to tell us nicknames of the squad.
Who's got the most stupid?
I've got to start with Steele.
Do it.
So Steele, Bob Barker.
Yeah.
So he got injured. He got injured early this year.
Man of Steel.
Mate, the man's a legend. That's not.
Do you call him Sheffield?
No, so he's from York. So he self-proclaimed York Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
York
Tower.
He's the York Tower. Or Steele Barker, self-proclaimed the Barksman. Now the nicknames we've given him. So the first one, Noah Heward gave him this. Noah Heward injured with him at the same time. Noah's is like one of genuinely, arguably the weirdest bloke I've ever met in my rugby.
Weirdest.
He's like so smart, so funny, but just brilliant. So Noah nicknamed him the pregnant snake. Because Steele's got like slender legs, slender arms, but he's got a bit of a darb on him.
Yeah.
So he's a pregnant snake. And then we started calling him Custard, turned into Ambrosia. He's brilliant. I'm trying to think of a few others, but honestly, Steele in 1 year, I've never seen anyone in my life at any team come in 1 year and make an impact on a squad like he has. And he's played, and
not play any games.
He's played 2 Prem games. He played a Champions Cup.
Yeah.
And his impact on the squad this year has been like unbelievably good. He's just like constantly smiling.
Oh, I love it.
Great value. Yeah. And Saturday, Sunday after the Bath game, when we went to London for our end of season, and
wind down.
I cannot tell you how good he was for 2 days. That was brilliant.
All right, flip the question quickly. Are there certain members of the squad that wouldn't have nicknames because they're not? It's too serious.
They're above it.
They're above nicknames.
Bill doesn't need a nickname. Bill Matter.
He's just Big Bill Matter.
Big Bill.
You give him a nickname and you got to run away if you give him. Stevie Luatua,
Grandad
of the squad. He's he's known as Dolph back in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we call him Dolph.
So on that note, unfortunately, the memory card on our mobile recorder ran out of space. So that was the end of the conversation with Dunny. Probably not a bad thing because we could have gone on and on. But I do hope you all enjoyed our kind of rambling review of the season, but literally from one of the horse's mouth, although it's a bit harsh calling him a horse, but definitely a workhorse. So everyone, it's been an interesting season. It's been a roller coaster, but ultimately it's been exciting and it's been full of memories. This will be it for the season for us. Keep a lookout on our socials for a season preview sometime in the summer. But apart from that, have a great summer, stay safe, and up the Bears!